Well, supporting beef wapsi tonight is Advaita Kala, author and scriptwriter. Rupen Doshi is CEO of Future Tech. He is the citizen voice tonight supporting beef wapsi. You support beef wapsi. Asif Bhamla of the NCP is president of the Bhamla Foundation. YUSUF IQBAL YUSUF, lawyer of the Supreme Court, joining me tonight. He's supporting beef wapsi. You've got 4 voices supporting beef wapsi and 2 voices as of now against. That's Shaina, NC, doesn't like beef wapsi. She doesn't like award wapsi and she doesn't like beef wapsi. Those are completely different issues. I'm just punning on it. Now, Prem Shukla, senior journalist, does not like beef wapsi. My problem is, what's the issue here? This matter was debated a few months back, right? Settle ho gaya abhi. You cannot go into anybody's house and say that you cannot have beef in your house. Because I was actually worried in the past when I heard, and Yusuf, let me start with you, that you can open up somebody's fridge, find beef and arrest the person. Exactly. That was draconian. Now, the possession of beef is no longer criminal. So, beef has been decriminalized in a way. Am I reading this correct? Yusuf?
Absolutely right. So, as the earlier provisions which were sought to be imposed, Section 5C and 5D were basically infringing upon the privacy of an individual and a citizen that empowered an officer to go into the house of a person to look if he has possession of beef and then to prosecute him. And the funniest part was that under Section 9B, the burden on proving that that meat is not beef was on the individual from whom the possession of that beef was found.
So if I go into your house and I find beef, you have to get a scientific test to make sure that, you have to prove that it's not beef but chicken.
And it being a non-bailable offense, I would be behind bars till such time as I could prove. I was supposed to prove it, but I would be behind bars because it was given as a non-bailable offense. It was classified as one. So now, today the High Court says that under Article 21, the right to liberty also includes the right to privacy. And the right to privacy is infringed upon by Section 5D. So it has been struck down the Section 5D. As far as Section 5C is concerned, it says possession of beef of an animal which is slaughtered in Maharashtra has to be a conscious possession. It just cannot be possession is not important.
I find the High Court judgment para 176 most interesting, and I want to read this out to Shaina NC. So it's a lesson for your party, the BJP, never to try and interfere in the rights of citizens. This is what the court says. It says, in fact, the state cannot control what a citizen does in his house, which is his own castle, provided he is not doing something which is contrary to the law. A state cannot make an intrusion into his home and prevent a citizen from possessing and eating food of his choice. A citizen has a right to have a meaningful life within the 4 corners of his house as well as outside his house.
As long as he is doing nothing illegal, and eating beef is not illegal.
And the state cannot prevent a citizen from possessing and consuming a particular type of food which is not injurious to health or obnoxious. Now, this is as clear as that. It's frankly an embarrassing moment for you. Do you feel you should have never got into this embarrassment? What was the need for you? Everything was okay, hunky-dory. Why did you get into this beef, anti-beef brigade? Are you embarrassed tonight, Shaina?
May I answer?
Please. Questions are meant to be answered always.
First, this is not to do with a specific community or a specific group.
No, I never mentioned community, you did. No, I mentioned right. You mentioned community. No, there's something wrong in your thinking. I didn't. Did I mention community? Asif Bhamla? I never mentioned community. She mentioned community. I did.
Is a directive principle. The prohibition of cow slaughter is a directive principle under Article 48. And if you please allow me to read what this states. It says that the state shall endeavor to organize agriculture and animal husbandry on modern and scientific lines, and shall in particular take steps for preserving and improving.
Again, you see, you've not learnt your lesson.
Prohibiting the slaughter of cows and calves and other milk and drought cattle. This is not limited to a specific thought.
No, what are you reading? You're reading the wrong thing.
Wrong in any sense.
No, you're reading the wrong thing.
Why would you have 20?
Are you sure you're reading the right thing?
29 states.
No, you're reading the wrong thing.
Ban cow slaughter in this country of
Article
ours.
21.
And suggest that we must protect
Article 21. Protection of life and
Article 21 enables a person the liberty to live the way he desires to eat what he desires to, for your kind information. However, I welcome, let me complete, Shaina. However, Shaina, let me complete, Shaina, please, let me complete. However, we welcome.
This is about a directive.
No, what did she say? You can't have a snake?
Article 48,
did I hear that?
It says only this. No, because this is suggesting that you could eat whatever you choose to.
Yes, Shaina, I should
Exactly. Let me complete with Shaina. I have a question. Excuse me. I have a question to ask to Shaina. However, we welcome the decision of the courts. But this is not the first decision in the fortnight. It is the second decision against the state government for the illegal structures, for promoting the illegal structures that was intended by the state government. I think the government.
Why you make it technical? Why you make it technical?
Now, coming back to this, I think we have crossed the levels where we should be told what to eat, what to consume, and what not to. What is the condition for a farmer? For the farmer, do we know the condition of the farmers in Vidarbha and Khandesh? For the farmer, the cattle is his economy. For your kind information, Shaina, for a farmer, the cattle is his economy. When the same cattle, when it turns old.
Yeah, continue. Don't weigh your words.
After every monsoon, the farmer sells that. The farmer
he will respond.
Sells the cattle. He derives that money. He puts more money and buys a fresh cattle. Now that same cattle is left on the road. It's left at the mercy because the farmer is not in a position to look after its upkeep.
What does this have to do with the beef ban?
What does this have to do with the beef ban?
Just one
make a logical argument.
You
have the Honorable Supreme Court in 2005 giving a landmark judgment. Post that, Arnab, if out of 29 states, 24 states of this diverse country of ours says we must ban cow slaughter.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned the word diverse.
No,
I'm glad you mentioned the word diverse because I thought you'd forgotten about it. Shaina, you see, if you understand what diversity is, if you understand what diversity is, and Shaina, come on, you've been speaking. I haven't spoken over you so far, but I must intervene. You mentioned diversity. Muslims make up 13 to 15% of Maharashtra's population. They eat beef. Christian make up about 3% of the state's population. They eat beef. Dalits make up about 16% of Maharashtra's population, and beef forms an important part of the diet for many Dalit and other Hindu communities all across the Hindu religion. There are many communities which have beef. Now there are many people. There are many.
Are we going to say what you have to eat?
There are many people from Kerala, from northeastern states, from West Bengal, from Assam, for whom beef is an important part of their diet. You can't infringe on it. The larger point is this. You were told and you were warned that Article 21 of the Constitution deals with the right to liberty, and that's a fundamental right. And I can tell you a fundamental right overrides anything that is mentioned anywhere else in the Constitution.
Consumption of beef is not
we're opening the debate now.
You are still entitled to eat buffalo beef.
I'm happy that 9B of the Act
watch.
Asif, on the state and not on the accused.
Asif,
I'm happy for that.
Asif, Prem Shukla in, please. Prem Shukla on the one side, and Prem Shukla, make your point on the other side to Rupen Doshi, please. Yeah, go on. Prem Shukla.
बहुत साफ सी बात इस हाई कोर्ट के जजमेंट में है. हाई कोर्ट ने इसकी कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन वैल्यू जो है उसको माना है. कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनली जिसको कहा जा रहा था कि ये कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के अगेंस्ट है, उसने माना कि कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल है एक्ट. एक चीज सुनिए, पूरी बात तो सुनिए.
गलत बात ये रिस्पॉन्ड करेंगे.
You are shouting down me there. You are not debating. You are shouting down.
Asif,
not debating me.
Asif, 1 minute.
You are not debating me. You are just shouting down.
No, he will respond.
Please allow me to submit my point.
Let him respond.
Please allow me to submit my point.
But you listen to his point. Both of you on both sides. Only both of you
आपकी बात सुनी है. कृपा करके मेरी बात भी पूरी होने दें. उसकी जो संवैधानिक वैल्यू का कहा जा रहा था कि ये पूरा एक्ट वो असंवैधानिक है, ये दावा था एक. दूसरा दावा ये किया गया था कि ये किसी एक रिलीजियस ग्रुप के अगेंस्ट है. ये दावा भी एनसीपी भी कर रही थी, कांग्रेस भी कर रही थी, लेकिन रिलीजियस ये कहीं से भी कम्युनल एक्ट नहीं है, किसी रिलीजन के अगेंस्ट नहीं है. अब बात रह गई कि उसमें से 2 पॉइंट्स जिनको कोर्ट ने जो है हाई कोर्ट ने कहा कि ये हम खारिज करते हैं, ये एक्ट का पार्ट नहीं है. लेकिन अभी सुप्रीम कोर्ट अभी एक फोरम हमारा बैलेंस है जिसमें लीगल ओपिनियन लेने के बाद अपना पक्ष रखने के लिए स्टेट, इसलिए ये कहना बीफ वापसी हुई, सबसे बड़ा उसमें संकट ये है कि आप जो ये कह रहे हैं कि अपने घर में बीफ जो है वो रख सकते हैं, लेकिन आप यहाँ बुलक्स या बाकी जो काऊ फैमिली के जो एनिमल्स हैं उनको काट नहीं सकते, तो आप रखेंगे। आप कुछ कुरैशी कम्युनिटी खुद कह रही है कि हम इस जजमेंट से खुद ही जो है बहुत भ्रमित हैं। ये आपने
Point is this is a victory because of the bizarre logic that you're not allowed to eat something even if it is imported from another state or country.
The important point here.
You can't do this, and it is a victory against the vicious propaganda of the BJP government, which aimed at reducing.
This is the Maharashtra government telling me that I cannot bring beef from abroad. I cannot bring beef from abroad. The Maharashtra government saying I cannot import beef. How can the Maharashtra government govern what I can bring in or not? You can protect the animals within the state of Maharashtra. The Maharashtra government has the power to regulate and preserve the animals within its state. How can you tell me that I cannot bring in beef from out? That is what has been struck down as unconstitutional. You are infringing into my plate. You are coming in my plate and telling me I'm not supposed to eat something.
Meat of pig in any Islamic country, can you import?
Why are you comparing?
Rupen Doshi.
Countries are different.
I think it's very important for
values of majority community.
Government and political parties to get their fundamentals right. You are comparing sometimes with China.
I'm not comparing to Afghanistan.
Boss, no comparisons. You don't even compare.
No, I'm not comparing it with Afghanistan.
There is no Muslim in India.
Rupen, only Rupen.
आप कृपा करके गांधी के विचारों को भी समझें।
आप ये हिंदू मुस्लिम
कृपा करके नहीं, हम नहीं बना रहे हैं।
नो,
हम नहीं बना रहे हैं। बना दिया कांग्रेस के एनसीपी के लोगों ने, एनजीओ ने बना दिया।
Sometimes talking about Congress, sometimes talking about China. You can't compare with anybody else. You get your act right first. Don't enter my plate. Don't put.
ना तुम्हें तो समझिए ना।
You respond to it.
Tomorrow you will
कृपा करके सुन भी लीजिए। कृपा करके सुन लीजिए। संविधान सभा में डायरेक्टिव प्रिंसिपल्स में काउ स्लॉटर पर बैन की बात क्यों आई होगी? मतलब हमारा जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट असेंबली था उसके लोग मूर्ख थे, वो समझते नहीं थे। जब डायरेक्टिव प्रिंसिपल में बात रख रहे थे तो उनका जो इंटेंशन था कम्युनल था क्या?
Don't speak over. Asif. Okay.
What are you going to do with the
don't speak over.
प्रिंसिपल में लिया।
तो
आप क्या कहना चाहते हैं?
Asif, don't speak over him. Asif, I'm requesting you, don't speak over him.
Don't mess with the law and don't mess with
No one is messing with the law.
Don't enter my house and don't enter my plate.
Now, calm down. Now,
just because you're in government, that doesn't mean you have any power over me.
Watch. I calm down. This can
more important than government.
कल तो आप नारकोटिक्स पीने की बात शुरू कर दोगे, इतना पावर दे दिया जाएंगे तो अब बिहार में लिकर बैन है, कल आप कहेंगे घर में लिकर रख सकते हैं।
Don't be an extremist, please.
No, I'm not extremist. You are trying to project yourself as extremist.
And don't talk about China and Russia.
नहीं लिकर बैन अभी बिहार में हुआ है, अभी वर्धा में लिकर बैन है, घर में लिकर रखने की परमिशन दे।
As a vegetarian, I am saying this. I'm a pure vegetarian. I don't support eating of beef. I'll never support it. But I support the right of individuals.
Well said.
Every Indian has that goddamn right. Please understand that.
Okay, one second. Okay, I'm coming to the debate and I'd like to get Advaita Kala and if I may Rahul Easwar who's just joined us, please. Now the fact is, I feel bad for people like Rahul Easwar who've suffered a big blow today. Because they've been going around saying Indian culture is not against, we should not eat beef, etc. The fact of the matter is this, Advaita, and I want to start with you. In this country, this same government encourages people to have bidis. We are doing everything possible as a government, center and state, to make sure more and more bidis are sold, more people have bidis. We are trying to ensure more people have cancer because of bidis. And we know that smoking causes 30% of cancer deaths. We want more to go up. We know it causes 80% cases of bronchitis. We want people to have bidis, right? And suffer from bronchitis, suffer from heart disease, suffer from cancer. Our government wants people to suffer from cancer, heart disease and bronchitis. 6 million people in this country die because of tobacco consumption. At least 3 or 4 million are simply because of the high consumption of bidis. And what happens every year in the budget? You will increase the tax on cigarettes, but you will not increase the tax on bidis. Right? You will encourage people to have gutka. 2,500 people die of gutka every year. You will encourage people to have gutka because you don't have the guts to ban gutka. Because many of the gutka manufacturers have links with political parties. नहीं मेरी बात सुनिए, नहीं मेरी बात सुनिए, मैं कुछ बोल रहा हूँ, मेरी बात, अरे मेरी बात सुनिए ना, मैं सच्चाई बोल रहा हूँ, तो आप इधर आपको एम्बैरेसमेंट होती है. सीधी बात तो ये है कि आप चाहते हैं लोगों का कैंसर हो, लोगों के हार्ट डिजीज हो, लोगों को ब्रोंकाइटिस हो, लोगों को ओरल कैंसर हो, लोग बीड़ी पिए, ये सब आप चाहते हैं.
कोई नहीं
आपने क्योंकि आप ये बीड़ी जब आदमी पीता है, आप बीड़ी को हिंदू मुस्लिम लाइन में डिवाइड नहीं कर सकते. इसकी सीधी लाइन ये है, आप नहीं कह सकते हिंदू बीड़ी पीता है, मुस्लिम नहीं पीता, या मुस्लिम पीता है, हिंदू नहीं पीता. आपको हिंदू मुस्लिम इशू चाहिए. Am I wrong? अद्वैता काल, 1 मिनट, मेरी बात सुनिए. अरे मेरी बात सुनिए आप, मेरी बात सुनिए आप बीड़ी को आप या गुटखा को आप हिंदू मुस्लिम
एक रिलीजियस ग्रुप बताइए जिसको काउ.
मैं आपको कह रहा हूं, मैं आपको बिल्कुल कॉन्फिडेंस से कह रहा हूं. अरे भाई सुन तो लीजिए प्रेम शुक्ला जी, सुन लीजिए. आप कांग्रेस पार्टी की तरह क्यों हो गए? आप तो सुन
बिल्कुल कांग्रेस की तरह
बात तो ये, हाँ आप कांग्रेस की तरह नहीं,
तक नहीं हो सकते.
the point I'm making, and why am I saying is this, that Advaita, if politicians could draw a Hindu-Muslim divide on bidis and gutka, they would have done it by now. If they would have felt that by banning bidis we will get vote from these people or against these people, they would have done this by now. They don't do it. They don't care for the people. This is simply a Hindu-Muslim issue that some parties are trying to create. Is there any doubt on that? Please, Rahul. Please, after Advaita. Advaita, please.
No doubt.
Advaita
No
first,
doubt.
and then Rahul. Yeah.
No doubt at all. No doubt at all. It's definitely an emotive issue, and it's been exploited. It's been exploited down the ages. I mean, if you look back at the history of beef bans, you'll go down to 1950, and you'll see how this has played out. So there's absolutely no doubt in my mind at all. I think Hinduism has a diversity of dietary practices. Certainly, someone like Swami Vivekananda said, and I'm paraphrasing him, but essentially what he said was that you cannot take local custom and make that the essence of a religion, and that's exactly what's happening here. And he was speaking in the context of North Indian Hindus and South Indian Hindus and the practice of eating meat. So I think there is diversity in the dietary habits of Hindus. You said that in your introduction, be it from the Northeast, be it in Kerala. I think this the need to frame this in binary positions, I think, is extremely problematic, because you can be someone like me, be pro-choice and be pro-vegetarian. It does not matter. The problem that we have is, like someone said earlier, is Article 21 is completely eclipsed by this demand, by this diktat, in fact, and it's very rightly done by the Mumbai High Court today that they've tossed it out. And anyone who tries to frame this in the context of some sort of religiosity needs to go back to the Vedas and read on how this was referred. Go back to even
Let her complete, Rahul.
Smriti, where much maligned Manusmriti, which is not something that whose authority I recognize or hold in very high esteem, but certainly in one version of it, because it has multiple versions, over 50 versions, eating meat is justified. So what are we talking about here? Are we not going to acknowledge the diversity in Hinduism itself?
And priorities, and an issue of priorities. 1 second, Rahul Easwar, remember this. Remember, draw parallel between what happened in Dadri, the incident Kerala House in Delhi, and the case in Rajasthan. I hope you remember all three cases. In Dadri, a vicious mob rushed.
Remember our constitution.
Prem Shukla, after I speak, Prem Shukla, let me complete my point. In Dadri, a mob rushed into a person's house on the suspicion that he was consuming beef and killed him. In Kerala Bhavan, a police force marched into a state Bhavan on the suspicion. Asif, Bhamla and Prem Shukla, don't interrupt me. Don't interrupt me unless what I'm saying to you is uncomfortable for you. In Kerala Bhavan, a police force marched into a state Bhavan on the suspicion that there was cow meat that was being consumed. In Rajasthan, 4 students were picked up by the police. They were having goat meat. By decriminalizing the consumption of beef, this fear and rumor mongering will hopefully end. And hopefully it will be a lesson for people like Rahul Easwar who mix up politics with their own display of tradition. Rahul Easwar, please respond logically tonight to the point made by
India is a constitutional republic. India is a constitutional republic. Article 48 in directive principles of state policy clearly says cow protection is a priority for the government. None less than Gandhiji. Was Gandhiji communal in vouching for cow protection? Was Gandhiji anti-secular? Gandhiji was the father of our nation who said cow protection is as important as Swaraj.
Come
so
on.
let us not have a binary position. This is a very complicated and complex issue. Will you dare to call Gandhiji communal? Would you like to strike down Article 48?
I'll come to you. No. Rupen, please.
Where does Gandhiji's secularism and communalism come in? Please, Rahul, I think you're confused.
Because Gandhiji was for cow protection.
No, just a bit.
You don't quote history. We are living in 2016. We are in 2016. We're talking about the needs and the realities of today. What does India want today?
Does that mean Constitution is gone? Gandhiji is gone?
And 50 years back.
No,
this is the problem. This is the problem.
He's speaking.
Watch.
Thank you for that argument. Thank you for the argument. Sir, thank you for the argument. In 2016, you mean to say that Gandhiji can be forgotten?
What? Not forgotten.
I request all Indians to hear this. In 2016, you want Gandhiji to be forgotten. You want Constitution and Article 48 to be forgotten.
The people of the country are
even it is 2100, Gandhiji will be remembered. Cow protection will be remembered.
Okay.
Talk about today's.
Is it not insulting Gandhiji to tell that Gandhiji should be forgotten?
Don't give lip service to Gandhiji on TV. Tell me what you're practicing. Are you wearing khadi? Are you practicing Gandhiji's principles? Young people want problems of today.
So you are saying that let us forget Gandhi, right? Is it not
the issue is
insulting to Gandhiji? This is the same attitude we are afraid of.
You know, one second. Before we go, 1 second. Before politicians go on this debate, first of all, it's pathetic to shoot off Gandhi's shoulders, okay? And let me tell you why. The reason is because before we get into this divine journey of telling people we need to get into your homes, open your fridge, like look into what you've got in your food and arrest you if required if we don't like the food that you eat, people like Shaina NC should understand some basic facts. She should understand today, as a woman leader from Maharashtra of the BJP, get your priorities right. Maharashtra, unfortunately, is ranked number 3 in horrific crime against women. In terms of crime against minor girls, Maharashtra tops the country. But for people, no, 1 second, just a minute. My point tonight is, 1 second, Asif Bhamla, let me complete my point. Asif Bhamla, let me complete my point, then she can answer. My point is tonight, I truly believe that the state government should use its energy, if it has any, and use its supreme powers on the eradication of these misdeeds, saving minor children, saving women from rape and molestation, instead of getting into my house and deciding what's in my fridge. Now that's misplaced priorities. 1 second, please. Shaina can respond, please. Asif after Shaina.
Drought, whether it's unemployment, women's security, all issues that affect everyone in Maharashtra, the focus is on that. Unfortunately or fortunately, the kind of effort and energy that everyone is putting into this particular case, I want to say this is not some new story.
Do you have any sense of priorities? Do you have 1 second? Just one minute. Just a minute. Rupen, I ask you tonight a question which most viewers are also asking tonight, Shaina, and you need to hear me on this. Shaina, listen to the question, otherwise you won't be able to answer. This is not a BJP rally going on here. Shaina, please listen. Shaina, punishment for possession of beef was prison for a year and fine of 2,000 rupees. Viewers, take a look at the following. Section 509, Yusuf, which is a word, gesture or act intended to insult the modesty of a woman. 1 year in jail. And in our country today, insulting and outraging the modesty of a woman under section 509 is categorized in the same pitch as having beef. So eating beef is a greater offense than insulting and outraging the modesty of a woman. You want to tell me about priorities? This is about priorities. You didn't get your priorities right. Yusuf, you want to respond to Shaina, please? Yeah.
Yes, I want to say that the issue here is not about cow slaughter. The issue here is whether my privacy can be violated, whether the police can come into my house and say that if I'm importing beef from some other place, I'm not allowed to eat that. You are the Maharashtra government. You feel that your priorities are to protect cows. Cows have been protected since 1976. This is in 2015. The amendment only talks of bullocks and bulls and buffaloes. Those are the additions to it, and that has been upheld. But What has been struck down is the fundamental right that you cannot violate my privacy.
Yeah.
How do you come in my house?
But fundamental rights don't matter for Rahul Easwar.
How do you prevent me from eating what I want to eat?
Violating your privacy.
Just-
Somebody saying that you cannot
just- after him, Asif, after him.
Is somebody saying that you cannot consume beef?
Asif,
We have
Asif,
said
let her
time and again that buffalo beef is allowed to be consumed. There's no question there. This is about a directive principle which goes back into time. And as I see, if 24 out of 29 states have why are we focusing only on Maharashtra? The issue is that the court has given a landmark judgment in 2005. The High Court has given its verdict today. There are two.
Okay, a simple. Can I ask?
Areas of contention
from some other country.
Those two areas of
Now Shaina. Now 1 second. Can you all be quiet? I have one simple question to ask Shaina, and that will settle the debate. 1 second, Asif. Please be quiet. Please come in when I let you. Please, yeah, you may, but you will wait for your turn. Yeah, you may, but you have to wait for your turn. Simple, Shaina. Okay, simple question. Okay.
Yes.
Simple. Please, we are on live television right now, and since you're making this argument, please tell us, show me the directive principle which allows the fundamental rights to be destroyed. Show me the directive principle which says that there is a principle that the fundamental rights of an Indian citizen can be taken away. Please show me. No, 1 minute. Let her answer that. Show me the directive principle.
1 second.
Show me the directive.
Logic,
No. 1 second. I'll give you 5 seconds.
Yes.
Please tell me the directive principle which says that the fundamental right of a common man, as mentioned in Article 21, which has been upheld by the courts today, that one can freely exercise his liberty by eating food of his own choice without the persecution of the state. As read, and I'd like to enlighten you, Article 21, protection of life and personal liberty. No person shall be deprived of his life or personal liberty except according to procedure established by law. Now, this is Article 21. Please tell me which is the directive principle which bears into and destroys Article 21. Just tell me that. Please tell me. Maybe you know things better than me. Yeah, tell me.
Say? Article 48 says no.
Article 48 says that
Article 48
it's first of all not Article.
That the state
you are saying directive.
That we protect the.
What are you saying? What have you read Article? Have you read Article 21?
What does?
Have you read? No. 1 second. Have you read Article 21?
Article 48 says that the state shall endeavour to organize
Yusuf, please, one at a time.
And animal husbandry, protect scientifically ecology as well as the cow. Now,
I think Yusuf will reply.
One question.
Quiet, please. Yusuf is replying. Asif, don't speak over.
Just
Asif.
Nobody is saying you should not consume what you want to consume. You can also consume beef.
Overriding a fundamental right which is guaranteed to you. The chapters which guarantee your fundamental right overweigh any directive principle. The concept of a directive principle is only.
I'd like to explain. I'd like to explain to Shaina this entire issue. Now, just be calm, gentlemen. Don't get worked up on this. See, Shaina, Article 21 is a fundamental right. A fundamental right cannot be taken away by any directive principle. One, therefore, it is a big victory today because the court has drawn clear lines.
So are you?
And if you may, please, I'll complete my point. Conveyed a message to the state, right, that you can't break a fundamental right. Two, you cannot encroach into the personal sphere of a person by interfering in this,
and therefore, the Honorable Supreme Court's verdict in 2005, where 24 out of 29 states have adhered to it?
Shaina, you need to understand this. The court has provided a breather to citizens who could not exercise their free will and liberty. Citizens, after the state assumed an Orwellian position and induced their sense of fear among people regarding what food is being served on their dinner plate. It is a moment of triumph for the collective conscience of society and relief that though the state may not understand the link between directive principles and fundamental rights, the court still understands it. This is why we are you know, a
You talk
functioning
about
democracy.
selective consciousness.
This is the
so then
issue.
isn't it the collective
No,
consciousness of society at
This
large
is-
as well?
The court
where you
has-
are allowed to consume everything you want, whether it's chicken, mutton, buffalo, beef. You are allowed to consume
Why are you
everything
not allowing
you
me to
want,
import?
but to suggest
Why did you
that the
try not to
cow
allow me to
and
import
cow
it?
slaughter, which has been adhered to by multiple states
Why were you
on
not
a
one
Supreme
second.
Court judgment of 2005 is a bone of contention.
You've been doing it with
One-
the
one-
communities, at least
okay.
don't do it with the animals now. But Arnab, I want to make a.
You see, I want to quote
The
here.
leather industry.
Cow
The
is a
leather-
cultural
Asif,
issue.
But we are talking about the beef ban, but we are not looking
Don't
after
speak over
at
each
the
other.
aftermath.
आप बोलिए जल्दी. One second. Listen here. I'll read out here. Please understand what is. You see, you have to. If you have to, Shaina, understand. If you have to say that Rupen Doshi can't have beef, though he says he doesn't have beef anyway, but he says I support the right of people to have it. Or Yusuf has beef,
Even I can't have
and so
my right
okay,
to
now the point is this: you have to then say that there has to be an interest of the state, which means like the sovereignty of the state is threatened, security of the state is threatened. So please tell me, this is what I read, Rahul Easwar. You see, if you could only temper your passion, if you could temper your passion with a healthy dose of fact, it might be a very compelling argument that you could have built. And allow me to enlighten you today, Rahul Easwar, about the facts in this case. The court says in judgment para 185, which questions the Maharashtra government's compelling reason. The court asked the Maharashtra government, "Bhai, what is your compelling reason?" And the court says that the state has not come out with any material to show what is the compelling state interest to provide to prevent an individual from possessing or consuming the meat of cow or its progeny, which is the product of slaughter outside the state. In other words, the Maharashtra government has to say that there will be a law and order situation, right? If in my fridge in my house you get beef, if I'm keeping beef in my house and I'm importing it from outside,
Why are you
listen.
limiting this to Maharashtra?
Do you
Why aren't
understand?
thinking of
And
the
by
other
the way,
Arnabji,
by the way,
let us
Shaina, the reason I'm
understand.
telling you
This
this
is a very
is the
sensitive,
reason I'm
grey
telling
issue.
no. One second. The point in Mumbai, you should start banning drugs. Because in Mumbai, you know, party drugs and this drugs and that drugs, the drug trade is rampant
Absolutely,
in
that's a
Mumbai.
different issue.
You can't ban drugs, you want to ban beef.
So many other
Irony.
things.
Yeah.
There's so many other things.
Arnabji,
out
Rahul,
there.
you understood.
let us be
Yeah, Rahul.
intellectually honest.
I think
Let us
we
be
need to approach the
intellectually
police now.
honest to
Who are you
accept
accusing?
that
What's-
there
who
are
are you
grey
accusing of-
areas in this.
Who are you
It's a
accusing of
sensitive
intellectual
topic.
dishonesty?
Let us be intellectually honest
Who
to
is being
accept
intellectually
it's a grey
dishonest?
area and there are sensitivities involved.
First, let us be
Cow was
intellectual.
the reason for the first
Rahul, let him make. He has a right to make his point, like you have a right to, you know, make yours. Yeah, once. Yeah, Rahul.
Let us not forget cow was the reason for first war of independence. That much is the importance of the issue.
What?
Please let us not forget that.
What do you say now?
Don't take us back in history, Baba. 2016.
Why
2006.
do you want to cut all the roots of India? You want to cut all the roots yesterday's,
Talk
the ways
about
we
today,
come,
boss.
you want to forget all that.
I don't remember
You want to
yesterday.
discard Mahatma Gandhi. You want to discard Constitution. You want to discard Article 48. You want to discard
Rahul,
First War
what
of
answer do
Independence.
you have
You
for
want to
the
discard the
citizens of
5,000-year-old culture of
The young
India.
people of today, don't take me back in history. You have no answer for the young people of today who are less than 30 years of age. They don't understand what language you're
The
talking.
court says. The
These
court.
young
What are you
people
saying,
will
man?
become old people
I don't
tomorrow.
understand.
They will
How young
understand the
people gonna
sensitivity.
understand?
The-
How are we gonna
Don't be
follow
the
law?
ultra modern person who has no roots.
No, we are
Only when we have roots, we will have this strength.
The
of
court
law.
says, okay, Advaita
Let us
Kala,
not
Advaita
forget
Kala,
history.
Advaita Kala, please, Advaita Kala, and I need to then get into the debate in detail. Yeah, Advaita, go on, Advaita.
Very quickly, you know, I don't think that you can, you know, diminish the fact that there are some people, and there are certainly Hindus who hold the cow in veneration, in veneration. You can't, you know, diminish that or say because it's 2016 that doesn't hold true. However, the debate is really very different. It's about individual liberty and about rights and fundamental rights, and I think that's what one needs to stick to, rather than assuming that the younger generation would not necessarily, you know, venerate the cow. I think that's the wrong place to go into. That's my
Rahul Easwar, listen, times are changing, you know. You are hurt ever since you are realizing that Sabrimala, Shani Shignapur, Haji Ali, things are changing, and now you are also concerned about what's happening in the case of beef. I'd like to enlighten you, Rahul and Shaina, that the court today says judgment para 176 on the right to privacy of a citizen, and I truly believe that both you and Shaina should read the specific paragraphs which reprimand the state government of infringing on individuals' constitutional rights. You are presenting a little bit of a, don't mind my saying it, unreal argument. The court says that in the decision in the case of Vidrohak Sangh, the apex court has specifically held that what one eats is one's personal affair, and it is part of the privacy included in Article 21 of the Constitution of India. Therefore, if the state tells people not to eat a particular type of food or prevents the citizens from possessing or consuming a particular type of food, it's an infringement of the right of privacy, as it violates the right to be let alone. The right to be let alone is a fundamental right.
Supreme Court.
No, 1 second. You can't come into my house tomorrow and say, talk to me if I don't want to.
For cow protection.
It's my right.
Tomorrow they will.
No, you are walking on a very essential right of a person to do what he wants. Come on, Rahul Easwar.
See,
you can't.
Let us not be blinded.
There are no limits to this then.
Liberal argument. I have liberty, I have unlimited liberty.
Yeah, you have liberty, so do others.
Just because there is an Article 14 and Article 21, that doesn't mean other articles are not there. There are other articles, other provisions of Indian Constitution. That's the totality of Indian Constitution. Arnabji unfortunately is only focusing on Article 14 and Article 21. No other article.
My view, no, you don't have the RSS breathing down your neck, but Shaina, even if the RSS is breathing down the BJP government's neck, you should still have your own independent view. You are sworn to defend the Constitution, not defend the RSS view of things. You understand? Life is not about pleasing the RSS, it is about living as per the Constitution.
Group or a community. This is about the people of India and a provision which is given, a constitutional provision. And that's what the Honorable Court said today. The High Court verdict said that we do believe that the cow must be protected.
No, but tell me, what are you protecting a cow in Belgium or a cow in Australia? You don't allow me to bring a Wagyu beef from Japan. Is that what you're protecting? You are putting Section 5D and saying I cannot import beef. Is that protection? What kind of protection is that if you're preventing?
I think
you have to you want to preserve a particular cattle in the state of Maharashtra, in the country of India, do that. What gives you the right to prevent me from importing something and eating?
No, people.
Why is that an offense? Why was that sought to be made an offense? That is the question.
I think governments must catch murderers and rapists instead of trying to find out what is in someone's tiffin box. You have not been elected. The BJP government has not been elected to find out what is in people's tiffin boxes, Prem Shukla. And this, today, what the court has said, should give you a sense of reality in this country. That at the end of the day, the government should not waste its time trying to find out what is in somebody's tiffin box instead of trying to help the droughted farmers of Marathwada and Latur. You want to help the IPL.
That's exactly what we're doing. I would appreciate if you focus on that
people from having beef.
And see the kind of work we have done.
Last point to you, please. Prem Shukla, and then I close.
Prem Shukla, that the situation is under control. This is not about consumption of just
illegal
beef.
और
We have said that you can consume
प्राइवेसी के नाम पे घर पे रखने का अधिकार हो.
नहीं, वो नहीं है. वही
आप जब यहाँ पर महाराष्ट्र में ये तय हो गया कि इलीगल और इलेजिमेट है काऊ बीफ, तो उसके बाद उसको घर में रखने का
किसने बोला इलीगल?
स्लॉटर करना महाराष्ट्र में इलीगल है, गोवा में इलीगल नहीं है, तो क्या इसका मतलब है कि आप गोवा से नहीं ला सकते हो?
आज जो है
गोवा में लीगल है कि नहीं सर?
अभी सिर्फ जो है
गोवा में लीगल है शुक्ला जी,
उस एक्ट के
और बीजेपी की सरकार है गोवा,
और बीजेपी की सरकार है गोवा में लीगल है. गोवा में अगर लीगल है उसको यहाँ लाके खाने में, वही मैं बता रहा हूँ.
कैसे ट्रेस कैसे करेंगे कि गोवा से आया है?
तो वही मैं बता रहा हूँ कि आप कैसे, how can you put a section, how can you put a section which says that no person shall possession slaughtered outside of Maharashtra?
Okay, viewers,
you are not the Indian government.
Okay, I also
you're making a law which is
okay, viewers, on the issue of beef wapsi, I'm closing the debate. This is the lowest point where we now have to debate whether the beef came from a cow in Goa or a cow in Kerala or a cow in Assam. I mean, there are other things to do. Let's get on with life. Let's get on with life.
The government should stick to governance and get out of my plate.
Big lesson in the story. I thank you all for joining me on debate number 2 on the Newshour tonight. Thank you.